Bought my first 2 rental properties by the age of 19 for less than $5,000 down. I guess at the beginning of 2017, I had set a goal for myself to acquire my first rental that year. And so I think later on that year in the spring, I had found this single-wide mobile home that was free, and the owners who had it on their land were just wanting to get rid of it. They had it rented out at some point, and I guess they didn't rent it to very good people because they weren't any, professional landlords, and they had dealt with drugs and who knows what other problems. So really, this was just a older 70s unit, I think 78, terrible condition, just destroyed inside and out, and who knows how long it had been sitting empty. Really just a nightmare of a unit. And so they had agreed to give me this unit for free with the exception that I had to move it. And so finding a spot to put a mobile home is not an easy thing to do, especially when you're trying to sublet. There's about 45,000 mobile home parks across the country, and that number's really shrinking every year. And I really wasn't in a position to buy a piece of land to put it on. I'm not very bankable even now. Getting a loan would be somewhat difficult for me because as a self-employed individual, it's hard to show income. I really did the only thing I know how to do from what I took from the wholesaling side of the business, and that was finding properties and writing handwritten letters to the owners, just asking for if they maybe have a spot to put a mobile home, give me a call. The main way I was finding properties to write letters to was looking on like a GIS tax record system on the aerial view of the map. And I would look around and, in Candler, which is a market here in Asheville, and all around the Asheville area, I would look at properties that were mobile home, areas or mobile home parks. And I would send a handwritten letter to the owner, and it would say something like, "Hey, my name's Nolan. I'm looking for a spot to put a single-wide mobile home. If you would be interested in subletting a space to me, please give me a call." Sometime later, more towards, I think around October, I was driving and I passed this small little mobile home park on the side of the road, probably about 12-ish units. And I wrote down the address and I get back to the office, I look it up, and I decided to write the owner a handwritten letter. And at this point, being almost the end of the year, I haven't acquired a rental and I still have nowhere to put this other one. I write a letter to this guy, and apart from asking for a spot, I write, on the other hand, if you'd be interested in selling, let me know. And what do you know, probably a few days later, I get a call. And he goes, "Well, I'm not interested in selling this property, but I do have another one around the corner that I would be interested in selling. It's about a half acre of land with 2 single-wide mobile homes on it." And then, he tells me a little bit about the property and the deal, and I go, "Well, would you have any interest in maybe owner financing it?" And he goes, "I would." And then right away, you just, music to my ears. You're like, "Okay, great. When can we meet?" I didn't have $10,000 to put down. Rodrigo, who I was working for at the time, agreed to come with me to look at this deal. But he pretty much negotiated this whole thing for me and then gave me credit for it. And we go out there and I'm meeting with the guy, and it's pouring rain. And one of the units there was really nice. It was rented out. The guy who owned it used to be a builder, so he did a really good job on it. He probably spent way more than he should have when fixing up a mobile home. I think he had like $30,000 or $40,000 into that home, but just beautiful for a mobile home, single wide, great job. And then the unit up above was in pretty rough shape. It had been empty for a while. Older unit. I think that one's in the 50s. But it's so old that it just has character. So it's actually a really cool unit. And we're sitting in there to get some cover of the rain and start talking numbers. And he tells me what he wants for the deal and, what he wants it to look like. And at the end of the day, he was really interested in owner financing this because he's an older guy who's retired. He had bought it and he just wanted to sell it, not manage it, and get the income from the mortgage payments. Back to the $10,000 down. Well, Rodrigo's like, "Well, I hear you on that," but he's like, "I could give you $10,000 down, but what do I have to fix up this upper unit?" He's like, "How about we do $3,000 down, throw the other $7,000 on the back end of the note, so I can put it into this unit to fix it up and get it rented out. The guy's like, you know what, that sounds all right, we'll do that. About a week later, we met in a Dunkin' Donuts to get this all in writing, what we had agreed upon, and signed the deal up. And so on December 6th, 2019, I was 19 years old and I closed on my first multifamily property that I purchased for $3,000. Bringing the whole thing full circle, my goal at the beginning of the year 2017 was to own my first rental, and I ended up owning two.